Let's get straight to it. I got diamonds in the face. No, they don't walk how we walk, they don't talk how we talk. We got millions.
All right, what's up, everybody? I hope you've really enjoyed that intro music because it's the last time you're going to have to hear it. I am in the midst of getting some new music and new intro stuff done, so that this should be the last time I use it, Lord willing, and hopefully I'll have the next stuff by next week. But wanted to do an extra video today because of the NAR lawsuit. I tried to do it at the beginning of the month, and I was on vacation, so I couldn't do it. So I'm going to do one now and just bonus episode here and just talk about the things that have changed. There's a couple like minor things, but and then there's some other updates I'll tell you about. But obviously, if you want to watch on YouTube or Spotify, you can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So feel free to look on there, share it with your friends. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, so let's talk about the NAR lawsuit. So if you haven't watched my other videos, please go watch those. I've talked about them at length, and I may do like a cleaner version at length at some point, just to kind of talk everybody through it. But obviously, there's two major changes. First major change is that for buyer's agents, and pretty much it's almost starting now. So this is one of the updates. So we were told August 17th, you have to be doing all the changes. So the first change was, okay, can't show the commission in the MLS. Well, that apparently is going into effect now in July. The MLS has pretty much said, hey, we're cutting it off. They said August 17th, then it became August 1st. And now they're cutting it off sometime in July. So I would imagine here in the next week or two, they're going to stop showing commission in the MLS. So that was the first change. But then the other change was for buyer's agents, you have to have a buyer-broker agreement before you ever show homes. And they've been very adamant, like, listen, there's going to be heavy penalties. We are going after this if you don't do this, right? So now, for someone like me, I've been using buyer brokers for a while now, so it's not a big change for me. But it is one of those that it's going to be a change for a lot of people who haven't been using them. I mean, I've talked to agents where they're like, I've never used one in my life, and they've been in the business years upon years. So, it's going to be a change in whether people can talk about their value and what they're doing. I actually am just coming out, hopefully next week. If you're interested and you want one, I'll send one to you. I have a new buyer and seller book coming out. It's going to be more extensive, and it's actually going to talk about the lawsuit a little bit too. So I have that being designed right now. But yeah, so the changes with, they said August 17th, and then all of a sudden it was August 1st. And we got this email saying August 1st, you got to use all the new documents. You got to use all these rules. And then the MLS is like, well, we're removing, it sounds like they're going to do it in, like they're trying to figure out how it's going to work. So they're going to start in July to make sure it's done by August 1st. And the funniest thing is the settlement isn't even finalized. I think the date, I did see that they had finalized the date in November for the official trial and everything to get everything finalized. But yeah, so we just got, so the funniest thing was they had told us, hey, you got to start using all the new documents August 1st. Well, we didn't have them. And we technically still don't. I don't have the actual documents, but we got to start using them August 1st. And so all of us are going, wait, when are we getting these? And they're like, oh, well, probably close to August 1st. And we're like, that's not okay, because we need to know. I mean, that's part of our job. Like as a realtor, I have to take contract law. I have to, re-up that every 2 years. I have to make sure I know what I'm doing. And these are contracts. They're not just easy documents. These are contracts that are changing. There's new addendums that are coming into play. So for me, I need to be able to see, all right, I apologize. I am back. I had a client at my door. I forgot they were coming to pick something up. So I had to pause real quick. But yeah, so I was talking about the legal documents. And that's one of the things that people never realize with realtors. It's like, oh, you just send me documents. Well, yeah, but I got to know all these things because these are legal documents. So one of the issues we had was since they hadn't gotten them to us yet, they were saying, hey, August 1st, you got to start using them. How am I supposed to use them if I haven't seen them? It takes me time. I read through these documents multiple times to make sure I understand what's in them. And so thankfully, we just got them yesterday. They sent us the drafts of the documents that are going to be in there. There's new addendums, there's changes. And so one of the things I'll do in the future is I'll actually do a video showing the changes. So I'll have red, I'll put it in red, what is changing from the actual contract now. Now, some of this stuff you guys may not care about, but for me, I think it's important for people to know what is actually happening, because you need to know what's changing. It has usually all the things that are changing are doing with compensation because of the lawsuits. So that's kind of what's been going on. And one of the funny, to me, it's funny, to to people in Missouri, it's probably not. But so the lawsuit itself, obviously it was about collusion and all these different things, which to me, I don't think they ever proved. And so they put a lot of speculation out there, but they couldn't prove anything. And because it's hard, again, I talked about this in another video, it's hard to have that many people colluding. And like I said, like my brokerage doesn't talk to me about commission. They don't talk to me about what I should be setting it at. That is, I work for a fee, so I set it. There are no set standards in commission. So one of the things that I thought was funny was I just read some article where there's a bunch of sellers really upset about the settlement in Missouri. And to me, and here's the thing, and this is why to me I think it's somewhat funny, is because all these sellers thought that the lawyers were doing this for them. Come on, guys. Like, lawyers love to make money. And that's exactly what they did. Because all these people said, well, we sued for this amount of money, and now we're settling for this amount. So they were going to go from making, I think they had said it was estimated every person was going to make somewhere between like $3,000 to $8,000. So every person in the lawsuit, now they're going to make several $100s, if I read right. And if that's the case, like people are like, whoa, I thought I was getting thousands. Now I'm getting hundreds. And guess who's getting a ton of money still? Lawyers. Because these lawyers have been trying this lawsuit for decades. And they finally got through because the DOJ came alongside of them. And whenever you have government intervention, things get messed up and it's wonderful. So yeah, I say that sarcastically. But it's just one of those that, people are surprised that lawyers looked out for themselves and not for them. I don't understand why people trust lawyers. I just don't. Anyway, but it's one of those that I read that article and I was like, well, guys, they're choosing to settle, and it wasn't like every seller. It was just like a group of sellers were really upset. So it's never ending. I mean, let's put it this way: the lawsuit's still not done, so there still could be more changes. So I will still do updates. Maybe there aren't updates to give, but next update will be August of when things go into play. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, and I'll give updates on that. If you guys have questions about any of this, whether you're thinking of buying or selling, let me know. My information's below. You can reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. Again, the whole point of this podcast, this YouTube channel, is to let people learn, but also to, if you have questions on stuff, reach out to me. I'd love to have that conversation. So that's all I got for you guys today, but I appreciate you listening to. Catch you next time.